What's going on, fellow investors and traders? My name is Jeff. Guys, NIO stock fell off 20% during the trading day, and then it fell off an additional 2.3% after hours. I think this trend is going to continue for a while. It was as low as $2.01 today, and I just wanted to make a short video. I don't want to make this video real long. It's just kind of an extension of the video I made the other night where I previewed their earnings. Now, this was far more disappointing than I even imagined. I also wanted to talk about the very unusual event that happened today concerning the NIO earnings report, okay? This is not something I see very often. And for me, if you are a long-term shareholder in this company, I think this is a very, very big red flag. Now, of course, I'm not holding any positions on NIO. Not long anyway. I also want all of you to start keeping an open mind about the possibility of a reverse split, okay? Because at some point, this stock could easily be trading under $1 and could get delisted from the New York Stock Exchange. We're going to talk about that here in just a minute. Want to keep this video kind of short. So make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video, guys. I appreciate all of your support, and make sure to subscribe to the channel if you have not done so already. So if the price movement of the stock was not convincing enough for you, let's just touch on some of the highlights from NIO's earnings report. Guys, they reported a larger than expected loss of $462 million for 3 months ending in June. Okay, so that was more than 80% higher than in the same period 1 year earlier. Now, this number, guys, which was also worse than the $390 million loss it weathered in the first quarter of this year, came as it faced a recall of about a quarter of its flagship ES8 SUVs over fire concerns. Now let's stop right there. Roughly 25% of its flagship SUVs got recalled over fire concerns. This is terrible. And so you can look at this revenue number that did beat today and say, hey, well, they beat on revenue. Let's just wait a while. There's going to be a lot of adjustments. You know, you will know a good investment when a company starts becoming more efficient. They start cranking out more revenue. They start putting more money on the balance sheet, and their losses start to get smaller, not bigger. So very, very alarming. Like I said, where NIO stock is right now, I would be a seller. And if you're interested in how I will be trading NIO stock, like I said, guys, make sure to check out my course, Trade Alerts Pro. I have a link for that down in the description box if you're interested. Another very interesting tidbit, guys, Bloomberg noted that the company's total losses have crossed $5 billion in its short 5-year life. Okay, that is a milestone that took Tesla 15 years to pass. So NIO is a very, very inefficient company, because I think when you think of an inefficient company, you think of a company that takes a lot of loss, has disappointing earnings. I'm sure Tesla is one of the first companies that pops into your mind. And honestly, guys, NIO is beating them at their own game. You know, I just read that statement and let it sink in for a minute. This is a stock I do not want to own long in my portfolio right now. And then again, guys, I mentioned that there was a very unusual event that happened today during NIO's earnings report, and that it was that they canceled their conference call. Okay, that is very, very unusual. And what I mean by unusual is that sometimes companies get in a jam or something happens and they have to reschedule it. But I have very, very rarely ever heard of a company just canceling their conference call. You know, I've had my head in the stock market for 19 years. I've only heard of this just a handful of times, and it's always been on the verge, you know, of something very, very bad happening. I know during the recession in 2008, you would see this from time to time, but the only thing I can really assume here, guys, is that they did not want to address all of the recall issues. You know, 25% of the SUVs getting recalled. And of course, any information like that will be made public in due time. Just a very, very unusual move there. Like I said, they could have easily rescheduled the conference call, and they did not do that. If you're an investor in this company, I think that screams the current condition of where they are at. And so this kind of allows me to segue into another train of thought, which I talked about at the start of the video. Start keeping an open mind about this company possibly having a reverse split. Let's go back to the chart and I will briefly explain. So here's the deal, guys. If you are on the New York Stock Exchange, and your stock trades under $1 per share, for over 30 trading days, you can be delisted from the New York Stock Exchange, okay? Now, once your stock is on the pennies and it's on the OTC exchange, you might as well kiss it goodbye, because real investors are no longer going to put money into your company. Now, I do have to say this, NIO does have a $2.23 billion market cap, so there's definitely a salvageable business here. But we're only $1.17 away from this being a reality. Which brings me to the 1-year chart. At the pace this stock has traded down, it might be tomorrow, it might be next week, it might be a month from now. This stock being at $1 per share does not seem too far off. That's why I mentioned a reverse split. And so the company would still keep the same market cap, and these shares technically would still have the same exact amount of value. I am getting a little ahead of myself. I have heard rumors about this, but obviously the company has not addressed anything like this just yet. And hey guys, they don't even come to their conference calls, so who knows what NIO is really thinking about. But I honestly think NIO is going to race to 150, and guys, I really don't see anything stopping it up from another 30 to 40, possibly 50% falling off of this stock very, very rapidly. So if that does, and of course NIO does not want to get delisted from the New York Stock Exchange, it would be in their best interest to do a reverse split. And as far as if you are a long-term shareholder, guys, I did see some people in the comment section saying they bought into NIO stock around 3, around 270, around 250. I seen some comments like that. You know, my best advice, guys, I just hope you did not use a lot of money, and if you did, you might want to move on for now. I do not think it's going to recover back to 250 anytime soon. It might take a technical bounce over the next couple of days, but I think this downward trend continues for a long period of time. So go down the comment section, guys, share your thoughts and opinions. I would really love to hear it. And thanks as always for watching the video. Have a great day.